So in our study, we were interested in how prediction errors can change episodic memories. The basic outline of the experiment was that people encoded naturalistic and socially relevant dialogues between two speakers. When they listened to them repeatedly, according to the theory of predictive coding, when they listened to the beginning of the dialogue, their brain would automatically predict how it will be continued. But after some time, after some exposures, instead of playing the original version, we would play them in a modified version. So the dialogue would start the same, but then be continued differently. And this situation can cause a prediction error because the prediction by the brain will clash with the actual sensory input. What we found in the previous behavioral study is that even in this naturalistic and complex verbal material, PEs or prediction errors can lead to the encoding of new memories as well as to weakening of the original memories. But under specific circumstances, both original and modification were remembered, and we were interested in what the representational formats would be that would guarantee this encoding of two similar memories. We manipulated first prior accuracy, which refers to how correct predictions are. So this is basically how big the change is, and people rated that at the very end of the experiment, where they rated how different original was from the modification based on their perception. And the second thing we manipulated was the change type. We had surface changes where the meaning was intact, but the phrasing was changed. So there were the use of synonym, for example, that were replaced. And just changes actually also changed what people said and the meaning of the statement. This was a 5-session experiment where people first encoded the original versions on one day, then were played the modifications, and then once again the originals. And these 3 sessions were scanned, and at the end we had a recognition test and these difference ratings. And there are a lot of preliminary results we conducted in RSA where we compared how the dialogues are being represented in the first session versus the second session versus the third session. And the most interesting result is that when we compare session 1 and 3, where both times the original were played, but first before seeing the modifications and then after seeing the modifications, we see an interaction between the change type and the difference ratings. Basically, the slope is negative, where for surface changes, where bigger changes lead to lower similarities between these two instances of the original dialogue playing, while for GIST it's reversed and bigger changes lead to higher fidelity of the original representation. And I would argue preliminarily that this is consistent with the Gershwin theory of the U-shape of memory updating, where small changes will lead to almost no updating and the original is relatively stable, while it's medium changes, which we seem to find here in bigger surface changes, which will lead to some kind of updating where the original is being replaced or integrated with a modification. So this will lead to more reinstatement of the modification while people listen to the original once again, which means lower similarity between sessions 1 and 3. For just changes, these episodes might be more pattern separated, where both actually are different enough to be represented individually, meaning that when they're played with the originals, they will also just reinstate the originals and no modification will intrude. Thank you.